All right, we're live. Ask us questions. Post, ask us questions. Okay, we're gonna pin that. And then we're gonna wait on Drager. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're doing an IG Live with the one and only Mark Drager. As soon as he joins, where is he? Mark, get in here. We're answering questions. We're spreading love, giving value. So get your questions, pop them in there. Looking forward to having a great last IG Live of the day. Let's see, where are we? Did Mark, forget? Oh, there he is, okay. I don't know what happened to Mark on that one. Okay, there he is, I see him. We're bringing him in. Hey, what took him so long? Here he comes, connecting. What happened?
I had to tell my kids to go to bed and stuff.
Oh, and stuff. Okay, great.
Jacqueline's out. I'm single fathering it tonight / helping answer questions.
Listen, you love it. You love it.
Yeah. My kids are just upstairs. I had to text them and say, hey, can you guys go to bed?
We were sitting here waiting for Mark Drager to grace us with his presence.
So here's the thing. We had all of these questions that we hadn't yet worked through.
We're starting over.
Fresh start.
We didn't answer them fast enough.
Fresh
you guys
start.
have a question, put it below. We'll answer it. We'll crush it. We'll give you value. This is our last live of the day. This is my 5th live of the day. This is awesome. Let's go.
Okay.
So the format, you ask questions. Mark's going to pick the one that he likes. If he doesn't pick your question, he doesn't like you as a person. Then he's going to answer the question. I'm going to answer the question, and we move on to the next question. Okay, let's go, Mark.
Wow. See, Evan thinks I'm really judgy, but now I come across as really judgy. Here's a question. It's kind of a bit of a hack as well. Hey, Mark, how do we promote my podcast interview with Evan that dropped today? brands.com. Evan, do you remember doing this podcast recording? Huh?
Answer the question, Mark. How does he promote his podcast with me?
Well, he's doing it right now, but how do you promote it? Maybe you're already doing this, but I would take the best fire clips from it and I would do a cut down and then I would advertise that against Evan's YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Especially if he said something on your podcast. So here's the thing. If you asked him questions that aren't the standard questions and you got unique responses out of him, which I hope that you did. I hope that you made the most of your time with Evan, asked him the types of questions you wanted answers to. He hasn't answered a whole bunch of times. Then you're actually bringing new Evan content to the world on your podcast, and then you can help bring his fans over to you. What are you thinking, Evan?
I like it. I don't remember if we did a video version. I feel like we did do a video version, but I'm not 100% if we did video or not.
You feel like we did.
No, because we had a good talk, right? Is his name Brandon? I think his name is Brandon.
Yep, it is Brandon Berkmeyer.
Right, brands on brands on brands. When I do my podcast day, it's all day. It's nuts. Thursdays are crazy for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe we did video. I could be wrong. But if you have a video, then yeah, you definitely want to be putting on YouTube. You definitely want to be tagging me. If you're willing to do paid, then paid against my audience. What Mark suggested is a fantastic idea, so that people get to know who you are. I would do it as an unlisted video, and then a strong end card to go do a clip that then goes to the full version. I wasn't even thinking paid, but it's a good strategy.
Doesn't have to take a lot of money. So on YouTube, I run ads I run some of my content and I advertise against Evan's channels. And if you do the preloaded stuff, it could be a little bit more pricey. But if you just do those, I don't remember what those side cards are, where you just have a fire thumbnail and it comes up as a suggested. It's for who I'm targeting and stuff, it's, I don't know what it is, 11 cents a view or something. What?
They banned Timo and they banned Heimerdinger.
Oh, you're going to that third place guy with 75,000 points.
Karthus? Oh, man. Come on, this is my promotion game. Are you kidding me?
Great callback.
That's good memory. Okay, we're doing Karthus. Mark Drager wants Karthus. If we lose, then...
No, you should pick someone you've never played before.
No. What, dude? You would get kicked out of games, dude. People would ban you. You don't do that. You don't show up to a rank. This is ranked. These count for points.
Okay.
You just show up with some random character that you've never played before.
Dude, I have never played. My kids play the World of Tanks, and they wanted me to play it once, and I sat down to play it. I've never played like online games before, and I started shooting people, and they got mad. My kids got mad at me because I was shooting our own team members, and I got them kicked out of a game. I didn't know that it was our own team.
How do you even shoot at your own team? That's some...
World of Tanks, you can do that.
Okay, never give Mark any kind of weapon before there's been some serious training along the way. Jesus. All right, good times.
There we go. Well, you're going to play Karthus. You're going to have fun because you love the game no matter what. And besides, if you do well now with someone so crappy, you're going to feel even better about yourself.
This is my promotion, though. Like, if I win this, I'm into the next level. If I lose this, I have one more chance to win. So this is a big deal. Promos are a big deal.
What kind of questions? What topics? We answer any kind of topics you want.
Wait, wasn't there a question? We were answering a question, and I got derailed.
We answered it, which is how do you promote?
Oh, okay. No, here's another one though. Make it easy for the person to share the stuff. So I've shared a lot of podcasts where they take a fire clip and they tag me on Instagram or they tag me on Twitter. Not just, hey, I just did a podcast with Evan Carmichael, go check it out, but make me look good, right? Like, make your person look good. So take a fire segment where you asked a question and then I gave like a genius answer, right? Like the best part of the show, and then post that and tag me. And if I like it, then I'm going to share it, right? And you should do that with all your guests. And then here's another thing. Do it again. Like, in a month, do the same thing. Tag the person again with their fire clip, and chances are they'll share it again, right? Like, go through your entire archive. I don't remember how many episodes you've done, but go through your whole archive, find all the people. You're talking branding. You're bringing on people who do marketing. Find their fire clips again, and then share it again. I still do this. Look on my feed on Instagram. Every day, we're doing a clip of some interview that I've done that might be like 3 years old. And
Dude, I just saw a clip of you wearing a Blue Jays hat. You used to love the Blue Jays. I don't know if you still do, but you never wear that hat anymore.
Like 3 years old. Here's what I did. I went through my top 30 most recognizable people that I've had on my show, right? Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, all the like top 30 people that be the most recognizable. Whether it was a great interview or not, like may not be my best, but most recognizable names. And then we cut 15 seconds times 3 for each of them. So now we have 90 clips. And we're just cycling them through. So for 90 days, we've got clips, and then we repeat the same 90 days. So you've got the same person coming up every 30 days, a different clip, times 3, and then that cycles again. Nobody remembers. And even if they remember, it doesn't mean that people watching now got the message, right? So it's a great way to stay top of mind. I would do that for all your episodes. It's
you
free.
You can even automate that, couldn't you?
You could automate that. Yeah, every 30 days. We use a human. I don't even know what to build on Karthus. What the heck am I doing here? This is going to be rough, guys. This is going to be rough.
Okay, everybody live, stay tuned to watch Evan freak out.
Yeah. I might get more distracted on this one, I'm going to be honest. I don't really know what I'm doing that much on this one, but we're going to try.
Superman 1000 asks, how do I handle work days when I'm so far from my goals?
Let's go, Mark.
So you have to be able to have, obviously, your really, really, really big goals, the goals that are so big that they scare you, that you're a little bit embarrassed to tell people about them, something that you're on a mission and working towards, because that's going to help pull you through the really hard times when you realize you're doing something that's so much bigger than yourself. And it's the thing that you're always working towards. But you have to have the micro goals. You have to have the small steps. You have to have the parts of the process, the daily things that you get really, really excited about. For me, I know Evan doesn't like this, but for me, there was a time where we were going through a hard time, and another staff member, Louis, my COO, every Friday, we would shoot each other a list of things we did that week that made us proud. And I would send him the list of things that I did that week where I'm like, I'm really proud of these things that I did. And he would send me the list of his things, because if you're going through 4 or 5 or 6 weeks of like hard decisions and hard times and nothing is looking good and you feel like momentum isn't on your side, even in that, there are things that you're doing every day where you can look back and you go, you know what, I did this thing And I'm happy I did that. I'm proud that I did that. I took the right step, even though it's not going to pay off for a little bit. And we did that through like April, May, June.
Wait, hold on. Why did I not like that idea? You're not explaining it right.
You didn't like it because you said that you told me that you were part of, a mastermind group that even sent out all these things, and you didn't want to look back and celebrate. I don't know. You didn't like the idea. Louis and I would send each other things that we did that week that we were proud of, that we felt we crushed. We would do it every Friday night because we found we were getting depressed on Fridays at the end of a long week. And you said you didn't like it, that you were part of groups that would do these kind of like, rah, rah, look at how great I've been this week, and you didn't like it.
It's not true.
You may not feel like it's true, but
no. Listen, you're missing something. There's got to be something. Did we talk about this on a podcast?
We may have, if you go back to like last April.
There's a piece that's not being explained properly for sure. But anyway.
Well, that's what we did. And some weeks I had to work really hard. Some weeks I had to work really hard to pull out 2 or 3 things that I did that week where I'm like, you know what? As terrible as things seem, you know what? I did these things. These were good things. I'm proud of these things. They were hard. We did them. That's great. Maybe you didn't like them because they were more task-driven or goal-driven as opposed to personal, Evan, but there was something about the process you didn't like.
I don't think you were using the word proud.
Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was saying things we crushed, goals we crushed.
Yeah, anyway.
But
okay.
It's whatever tactic works for you now, connecting the daily to your big, giant, huge goal. That's my answer, Evan. What's your answer? Remember the question, how do I handle work days when I'm so far from my goals?
The problem is you're still tying your self-worth to hitting results. You feel like you suck because you're not getting results. And that's just a fundamental mistake. So you should ask yourself every day, am I proud of the effort I put in? And focus on the progress that you did make. That's it.
Now what of you not seeing any progress?
There's always progress. There's always something to be proud of if you put in effort. Like, look at this. Maybe this is the worst idea of all time. Maybe me playing League of Legends, trying to answer questions, playing Karthus instead of both of the champions that I love playing. Maybe it's a giant mistake, and I'm wasting everybody's time, and my friend Mark Drager gets pissed off that we did it. Great. I'm proud that we tried. Right? I'm proud that we tried. There's always something you can be proud of yourself for. That's what you need to tap into and find. That's what you need to tap into and find. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't do anything, and then it's deserved. Like, if you sat on your face all day and did nothing because you thought your goals are too far away, so why even try? Then no, that's not something to be proud of. Nope. Get to work.
Let's go.
Yeah, but if you're proud of if I play 5 games and I lose all the games, did I try my hardest? Because if you wake up every day and you try your hardest, you're going to get results. This is why people are depressed, man. This is why people are depressed. This tying their self-worth to some outcome, some goal. Yeah. It's why people are depressed.
I know. It's why I was running a multi-million-dollar business and still found myself completely hollow and depressed and didn't see any point in going on and got super cynical and all of that stuff.
Yeah, you're not getting the results you think you deserve to get, and you're not celebrating enough how awesome you are and everything you're doing. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what you do.
Yeah. Okay, next question from Christoph Dominguez, I'm going to say. I don't know, I'm so bad with names. I have a business in the cannabis industry. We cannot utilize traditional marketing. What are your thoughts on influencer marketing?
Yeah.
Well, I have a client in the cannabis-ish industry. We cannot use traditional marketing. It is really, really challenging, right? You can't advertise on any major platform. So, influencers can certainly help, but What we have found is while a lot of influencers are willing to come on board and talk about it, it hasn't for us yet translated to actual or direct traffic or sales. So influencer marketing can be very good as long as you can at least tie it, what you're paying and what you're doing, back to actual sales. And second, we have found that there are secondary markets of programmatic that specifically focus on cannabis. Like Mantis is one of the networks. There are all of these secondary programmatic networks where if you do your research and find them, you can actually do display advertising, which does drive qualified traffic back. And it may not be as good as Google, like search. It may not be as good as Facebook. And then the last thing is you can still, if you're careful, you can still do some Bing search and some other secondary search engine searches. Traffic isn't obviously as great, but influencers is important if you have a stylized or lifestyle type project or product, but you have to be able to track it back to sales. Secondary display networks can be really good sources of traffic. And then you can go and you can buy like access to audiences through magazines, through email blasts. There are lots of private networks. You can't touch Reddit, you can't touch Facebook, you can't touch Google, but people are out there. People are looking. You just need to find creative ways to get in front of them.
They didn't say what kind of business, right? Just that it was cannabis?
Just cannabis industry. So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that you're not selling actual product, that you're selling an accessory or something like that, but yeah.
Shout out to Redemption Rav in the Twitch chat saying, Karthus support, that's new. Yeah, I know, because Heimer and Tima were both banned on me. That never happens. What am I eating? Well, I was eating seaweed, but it's gone now.
And for people who are listening on the Something to Prove podcast, nobody knows what Evan's talking about, but these are characters in a fantasy game.
Listen, some people know. Fantasy game.
Know.
Jesus.
Anyway, Evan, do you want to answer that question, or are you good with my answer?
I would I would say influencer marketing can be really strong. You just have to know what you're doing.
Yes. Right.
So I think, I mean, in all honesty, it's probably not, like, influencer marketing is not Fanta Media's strong point. It's not why you're hiring Fanta to work on stuff.
We actually, yeah, we didn't handle the campaigns. We have an influencer marketing agency that we work with.
Right. So it's like, they don't know what they're doing. Well, they don't. Right?
Who, us or the people?
No, the people who you're working with don't know what they're doing. The other agency that you hired or whatever, they don't know what they're doing. Not really. Just like, it's like somebody saying Facebook ads doesn't work. No, you just know what you're doing. Now, not in this case.
I'm saying it drums up Evan's favorite word, awareness. It's no. Depending on your scope of your budget, it can be hard to track back the influencer marketing back to direct sales, which is what some people are looking for when they're in this space. Influencer marketing is great as a second and third thing to add to the collection of everything that you're doing. When you can't advertise through Facebook or Google and it's the only leg you have to stand on, it can be a very expensive and challenging thing to do. Evan, how come you're not selling your book through influencer marketing?
I am, Mark. That's a big part of what I'm doing.
No, you're not paying third-party people to talk about the book, you know, for 6 videos and 5 stories and 3 shout-outs.
But it's the same. It's the same concept. I mean, we could. I just actually happen to know the influencers in the space who I need to connect with.
Okay.
But it's the same. It's the same.
It will drum up top of funnel brand attention.
No,
but it's very hard to track it back to specific sales. That's all I'm saying.
Not for someone who knows what they're doing.
Okay.
I would not lump influencer marketing, all in for influencer marketing, into that. There's lots of people who can track influencer marketing to a sale.
No, there are ways to track it with UTM codes. I'm saying anyway. That's fine. We're getting into the weeds now.
Yeah, but who are good?
I'm saying if I were you and you don't have a lot of budget to focus on, I would focus on the secondary programmatic markets to start getting predictable traffic. And then I would test the offer and the price point and the message.
Yeah, it's easy to lose a ton of money on influencer marketing, just like anything else. It's easy to lose a ton of money on Facebook ads. It's easy to lose a ton of money on a TV stop spot or a bus station. Like, you can lose lots of money everywhere. So either you really focus on testing it small and figuring it out for yourself, or you hire somebody who's genius level at it, who can get you a result doing it. The other thing I would add into the mix is thought leadership on the things that you're allowed to talk about. So there's going to be some restrictions on what you're allowed to do and what you can't do, but on what you are allowed to talk about, creating content, organic content around it. I was just talking to somebody today who's got a cannabis product, and he was talking about 420. 420 means something, right?
Yes, April 20th. It's and 420 is like the time after school that you would smoke up typically, or things like that. Yeah.
Great. So one of the ideas that I pitched him was, hey, if 420 is such a big deal, then at 420, and he wants to be known as like activist and be involved in campaigns and get people to, you know, spread the awareness, and not just about the product, but about the movement, right? So awesome. So at 420 every day, you should be what's it called? Not a conduit. Aggregator? Nah, like who? A curator.
Curator.
You need to curate. Okay. You need to curate the best things that are around the cannabis industry every day, so that 420, I'm going to come to your Instagram, or I'm going to come to your Twitter, and you're going to tell me what to do. Whether it's sign this petition, whether it's go buy this book, whether it's support this movie, you know, whatever, support this person running for office. Like, if I'm an activist and I want to support the cannabis community, tell me what to do. Because there's so many different things out there. You're going to do the hard work of finding the initiative that I care most about. You're going to be at the forefront. And at 420 every day, I'm going to come to your Instagram and your Twitter, and you're going to tell me where I need to go lend my support. That's thought leadership, right? And when you launch your product, everybody's going to want to buy it because you're at the head of the activist community. Now, here's a guy who cared about activism. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're just trying to make a buck and you don't actually care about spreading, you know, legislation and any of that stuff. But that's thought leadership that you should apply. And it's anybody, right? Everybody can apply thought leadership. So I had that discussion today, and it's a great idea.
There you go. Side story. Some people don't know that people are so caught up with taking anything that has 420 written on it that in a lot of states, the mile markers on the side of the highway, they can't put ones with 420 miles on it because people will come along and steal it.
That's hilarious. So
they actually have to put 419.9.
That's hilarious. But it like, that should be something that like your client should get involved in that. You need a content strategy around.
There's a lot of things. Yeah. Okay. Quick question.
Somebody in the Twitch chat is asking, who's that I'm hearing?
Austin.
Mark, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mark Drager. I'm Evan's friend. You may know me from the Something to Prove podcast that we do together, or from the many times that Evan has talked about me on IG, or I'm kind of just around. I'm in the Evan atmosphere.
It's a good atmosphere.
It is.
We love Mark.
Evan's the sun, and we all circle around him.
We love Mark. Mark brings a lot of joy and value to many people's lives.
Thank you. Here's a question from Samir, or Sam Hare, or Sam Air. I'm not sure. Hey, guys. Is it worth to have a part-time work to support the team and the business, or go full-time job? I don't want to go full-time because I may lose track of my own business and team. So it sounds like he has a business and a team, and he's taking on part-time work just to pay for the business and the team. And he's thinking about going full-time job to pay for the business and the team, but he's worried about losing the business and the team. Oh man, I got to tell you, honestly, do you know how often, I'd say maybe every few months I have a dream where I have to go and get a job. I have to go get a job, and I leave Fanta, and I'm freaking out because I'm not sure how to do all of my business commitments and manage my team and go out and get this full-time job and be a dad and a parent, and I have to do all of these things. And I'm always like struggling to try and juggle it all. So like, this is literally like a nightmare of mine. So here's gosh, what would be my advice? Obviously, if you need to go out and find other sources of revenue, then there's something that's not quite working within your current business. Either your team is too expensive, or your business isn't profitable enough, or you don't have enough sales, or something is going on here. And if you have a part-time job just to get in money so you can hand that money to someone else so they can work in your company, or you're thinking about getting a full-time job, then there's something like really, really broken here. I would look at the expenses in the business. I would look at what you're trying to do. Now, if this is in startup, like if you're like just a few weeks in or a few months in, I would still focus on how lean can I run this? Maybe you need the part-time job, maybe you need the full-time job, but do you need the team? Who's going to manage the team? How are you going to make this work? I would really try and scale down to just you. I would do everything. I mean, when I started my business 14 years ago, it was just me. It was just me and a computer, and I didn't even have any furniture because I used to tell people furniture doesn't help lead to sales. So I had a used folding table that I bought from a hotel, like those banquet tables that like unfold, and that's what I sat at. We didn't buy furniture for the first 3 years. I had 4 staff members, and we didn't buy furniture. So I would look at how much can we shrink down the expenses as little as possible? How much of the work can you do yourself? How can you focus on sales to start growing revenue? How can you deliver all of the work and keep as much of the profitability as possible, and stay small, keep all of the money, and then start to grow the team? That's how I would focus on this, because something just seems really broken in the business if you got to get a full-time job to support and just pay for other people to work for you.
I mostly agree with Mark. The only caveat I would put on is if the people on your team, if there's just a massive cost difference in the salaries, right? Like if you can get for your full-time salary, you're hiring 4 people because you're hiring people in the Philippines who can do good work. Like that's the only caveat I can see.
Yeah, I would do that because you're leveraging your time against other people, and that makes sense.
And even though like those 4 people aren't individually as good as you, you're getting paid in North American dollars for North American work, and you're hiring out at cheaper labor. So I would like, if you're hiring people in the Philippines for $5 an hour and you're making $40 an hour, and that allows you to hire 8 people for your business, like maybe that's worth, right?
I didn't get the sense from the question though. I got the sense that they have a business with a team and they're going to go out and get a different job. They're not going out and getting something to pay for their team. It's like, I got to go become a consultant so that way I can run, a car wash over here and pay for everyone who's working there. Like that, the sense I got from the question was,
yeah, I get it. Just he didn't say where the team is. That's all. If it's a local team, then yeah, I'm in Mark's camp. But if it's an international team, that it just makes sense. So you can have 5 people for your salary, and those 5 people do more work than you, then I would consider it
as a bit of a bridge or something, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you still have to fix the business. There's still something broken. But if you think that these people can get you just need a little more time, but these people can get you to the point where you're now profitable and you can pay for yourself, right? Then I think it could be worth.
Mm-hmm. Listen, if you're starting or you're scaling or you're growing, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the money and to get over that hump. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are really held back because they think that they don't have to sacrifice, or that they're going to hire 1 person, then hire 2 people, then hire 3 people, and it's just going to grow like very linearly. There have been a few times in my business where I've had to take on a risk, or I've had to pay people and not pay myself. Or I've had to give myself a pay cut in order to hire the person to make it work. So
it's the same thing. Like you're not getting paid, but you had some kind of reserve to be able to survive not getting paid. But if they can't do that, then you got to decide: do I? Like, if you think, hey, this is 3 months until I am through this, I don't want to lose my team because we lost some client or something, and we can build it back up, but you can't survive being there by yourself. Do you just go get a job for 3 months, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I wouldn't, but that's me, and that's different. Like I would always shrink back just to me. Like I would always just continue to whittle back down until, yeah. But I'm in a different business, and by the way, I'm addicted to my team now. So I don't know if I want to go back to pre-Louis days. Oh.
But here's the thing, like that's the conundrum.
Yeah.
If you lost a big client,
yeah,
you got no money coming in for the next 3 months.
Yes.
And there's no financing options open. And
yes,
you basically have to decide between I'm going to lose Louis or go get a job for 4 months. I think you can get a job for 4 months. Like Louis, listen, Louis is going to be a good sport. Louis would do anything to save the business. Louis would not take a salary for 6 months too if he needed to, right? But maybe there's circumstances. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's got, Yep. And he just can't do it. He can't take the same risk, but he loves it. He's tied to the business. He wants to help. He just can't, right?
Yeah,
I think
if the person was that much worth saving, I would dump the person. I would dump the business, hold on to the person. I'd be like, hey, Fanta's out, Louis, you and me, 3 month, 4 month window. We figure this stuff out. I'm doing this, you're doing that. We're regrouping here. We're moving on to what's next. I would dump the business model. I would dump the business. I would hold on to the people.
Sure, but there might be. Hey, we won! Oh,
what? Yay!
I crushed it, dude. I didn't die once. I went 6-0-8 or something.
Dude, you got to start playing with this dude. Forget Timo.
The guys in the Twitch chat is giving me a hard time. It's like, why did you build that on Karthus? Because that's how I build Karthus. And FYI, crushed it.
Congratulations. You just moved up to Star Gold 05 or whatever it
Bronze
is.
1, baby. We made it to Bronze 1. Bronze 1. We made it happen.
Weren't you already in Silver something?
I was Silver last season. I haven't hit Silver this season yet. It's a new season.
When did the season start?
January.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with this stuff.
Yeah. We made it to Bronze 1, friends. We're here. We're here. Yeah. Anyway, we're mostly saying the same thing. I agree with Mark in 98% of the circumstances there. I think there's a couple use cases where I would be hard pressed to, if I saw a potential of coming back and making it happen, and it was just a bridge to get me there, and I don't want to have to build my team up from scratch, I would consider doing a full-time job for a certain amount of time to do it. If I think the model's broken, if I think the problem is me, if I think there's a bunch of things that are systemic in the business, then yes, pare it down, go back to just me and Nina making content, changing the world. Yes. I still have Mark Drager in my corner. Let's go.
Evan editing things and pushing buttons and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
I'm secretly excited to do that.
Yeah, part of you wants to burn the whole thing down just so you can start again, right?
I love starting again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got 2 wins. Mark Drager.
Listen, you need more Mark Drager.
It's got to be the good luck charm
in your life.
How was this format for you, Mark?
I had a lot of fun.
See, it worked out.
It worked out. Listen, guys, if you got to say yes. So if someone says, "Hey, I'm changing things up. Are you free? Should we try it tonight?" The answer is always yes.
Right. So stay tuned. Monday nights, Mark Drager for 1 to 2 IG lives, depending on
kids' bedtime and
kids' bedtime, wife being home, how long it takes me to play the first game. But this is our first test. Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
Continue to believe. Subscribe to the Something to Prove podcast.
Yes.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Mark.